Right then, welcome back to the channel, Stephen Howson. 5 things that we learned watching Manchester United beat Leicester City at Old Trafford in Ruud van Nistelrooy's final game. Now, some point today, Ruben Amorim and Ruud van Nistelrooy are going to be having a meeting where they figure out what's going on. And I don't know if I'm reading too much into the precise wording that was used by Amorim in the press conference after his final game at Sporting Lisbon yesterday, or if it's just like a mistranslation or someone not speaking in English as their first language. Some of the wording rang alarm bells, but we will see. We will know by tea time today. I'm pretty sure we will know whether Ruud van Nistelrooy is sticking around as his assistant or if he's not. But let's go back to the game yesterday and let's cover what we need to cover. So I'm going to say, first and foremost, Ugarte, brilliant. I really, really like him and Casemiro's midfield partnership. Casemiro, is it a coincidence that Casemiro was sort of started to look like first season Casemiro again? Ugarte seems to play to his strengths. They seem to bounce off each other. They're both playing aggressive and defending on the front foot. Casemiro's making some really crucial tackles all over the pitch. And Ugarte himself, he's just an absolute brick wall. He's winning everything. You know, he's so committed in the tackle. And sometimes football can be about how many shin kickers you've got in your team. How many people are prepared to go to war. And I think United over the last decade for sure, and potentially even a little bit longer than that. No, since Wayne Rooney. Yeah, since Wayne Rooney. You know, what elevated Wayne Rooney wasn't just his ability on the ball. It was that aggression and edge that he had, which I would say was up front, but it was actually all over the pitch, wasn't it? And having a Ugarte in the team just brings a player that's just got an edge to him. I like aggressive players. I'm gravitate to, even Erik Cantona was an absolute magician. But he had an edge. Roy Keane, edge. All of the best players have got an edge to him, in my opinion. If you haven't got an edge, you're just fucking Michael Owen, and no one wants that. So, back to Ugarte, his confidence appears to be growing. He feels like he's settling in. It's starting to leak over into his in-possession performance, where I thought he was very good yesterday against Leicester. His ball carrying, even his forward passes, and his pass completion rates all seemingly going up. So, real good showing from him. And I wonder, is it a combination of him and Casemiro sort of starting to play with each other now? Because it's really good. Listen, I know that you know that I know that you know, and we all know what Manscaped is all about. It's about trimming your hedges, about keeping your gear in check. But listen, they've gone one better. There's no more mixing up your face trimmer and your ball trimmer. They have got the beard and balls bundle. They got the Lawnmower 5.0 for the downstairs business, and they got the Beard Hedger for the moneymaker up top. That's right, separate tools for separate jobs. So sort your life out. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code Howson, that's HOWSON, at manscaped.com. Listen, nobody wants to see your bits looking like a bad Team America beard. Fix it up, look sharp, stop butchering yourself while you're at it. It's 20% off and free shipping with the code Howson at manscaped.com. Get it done, and someone might want to touch your cock. Number 2, De Ligt. So, De Ligt started to put in a level of consistency. He's been very, very solid. I think he's kind of gone under the radar. And I said from the start of the season, all I can hear every single time he mullers somebody. And he's another one that plays with a little bit of physicality, and I like that. I can just see Graham Souness going, he's a fucking little bit lightweight. No, he's not lightweight. He's a major reason why United's defensive performances have improved. On the ball, he's been solid, as you would expect someone from the Ajax school of technical development. But off the ball, he's a ruthless tackler, and he's forming a real good partnership with Lisandro Martinez. They really complement each other nice, and obviously there's a decision going to be made, about whether or not we're about to play a back three as of the next match. But I'm absolutely certain De Ligt is a part of it. He's just solid. He plays solid. His consistency level is solid. He's just solid, and I like it. And I think people often talk about the flops, and Xerxes kind of a bit of a target of that at the moment because, the name fits at the moment for him. But Mazraoui and De Ligt have been fantastic. Marcus Rashford. So I said yesterday I thought he played all right. I thought he linked play quite well. His pass completion was really good. He had 2 out of 4 dribbles. But he's not shooting enough. And he isn't necessarily creating for people as well. Now, a lot of people really, really disagreed with that. And I've seen so many comments was focused on Marcus Rashford. And I got to be honest with you. Like, I thought it was an okay performance. On the ball, he's not maybe picking it up in the right sort of areas, but he was netting it up. Now, I think what lets him down is sometimes his body language, because people do gravitate to that. I remember the whole Berbatov versus Tevez thing. Tevez was coming out on top of that because of the body language of him and the body language of Dimitar Berbatov at the time. Garnacho coming on and scoring, the way he comes on and lifts a tempo of a game in the last 20, 30 minutes is exactly the reason why I think Garnacho is the impact player that you need. I don't think Garnacho's had a good game that he's started this season, but I think he's been very, very effective off the bench. And I don't know what it is with Marcus at the moment, but he seems to have pissed off a massive percentage of the fan base because he can do no right in anyone's eyes at the moment. Now, I don't think it was a good game yesterday. I think it was all right. Now, I didn't come out and say, well, didn't he play well? I just thought it was all right. But I think Garnacho has been poor when he started, but he's excellent coming off the bench. So the way Ahmad is nailing down that right-hand side, I think that's your choice at the moment. It's Rashford and Ahmad start, and Garnacho comes off the bench and probably makes something happen because he's got that ability. Optimism. So, yeah, nightmare start to the season, for sure. But you know, we are only 4 points off top 4. Now, when you pull the league table up, you go, you're 4 points off top 4. We're still like, what, 12th, 13th? It's a little bit, we are, but come on. You know, the quality and the strength in the Premier League, do you know what, not the strength, the parity, I would say, in the Premier League. Because I disagree, actually, that the Premier League is at an all-time strongest. This United team is fucking woeful. Woeful. It's got a decent midfield and a good defence and a woeful forward line, and it's still only 4 points off top 4. So it's not strength, is it? It's not an elite Premier League and, oh my God, everyone's amazing, because the fact is everybody isn't amazing. There's a lot of guff in there. You know, when you go back and look at the teams that was finishing 4th, 5th and 6th 15 years ago, doesn't compare. I don't think it compares. But what I would say is there's parity in the Premier League. There's a lot of teams that are about the same level, and United are right in the middle of the pack of that. I don't think we're the 4th or 5th best team in the league, and I certainly don't think we're the 12th or 13th best team in the league. We're somewhere in the middle of that. Now, if we can start scoring goals, I think we've got the goalkeeper, the midfield, and the defence that will really elevate us. But the goals are a problem. It's tight, but it's not necessarily tight because everyone's good. It doesn't really work like that. You know, not all progress is forward. You know, you can't have infinite progress for every single team. It does not work like that. Obviously, we're about to hit an international break. That could be a good thing for Amorim, depending on how many players actually got on the training pitch and how many haven't actually gone off on international duty. You got a lot of injured players are starting to return now. And I saw some people sort of, I don't know what the word is. It's not throwing shade, but it's sort of like inventing conspiracy theories. Like, oh, the players are injured because they didn't like Ten Hag. Fuck off, honestly. Like, it's just a timing thing. You wait long enough, your injured players get fit. I'm still not actually excited, you know. Still not actually excited in terms of where we can go, because I think I've just got a real tempered expectation of what this team is capable of doing. And I don't think this team is capable of scoring goals. Now, we might play a different shape and a different system, and we might start scoring some goals, but I'm not expecting it. There's a difference. You know, there's possibilities and there's expectations, and those two things aren't necessarily the same thing. You know, there's a possibility we win the league. I don't expect to. There's a possibility we get relegated. I also don't expect to. So where does expectation and possibility meet? probably in the 4th to 7th sort of range, doesn't it? That's where your expectation and possibility align. Now, January's coming, and there's youngsters in the team that I hope that Amorim steps in and goes, lads, clean sheet time. You want a shirt? Go take it. Go take it. And you never know. You never know. When we saw the emergence of Marcus Rashford in 2016, he went and stole someone's place. And quite often that's what a youngster does. Youngsters are very rarely given opportunities. They have to steal them. And they steal them because someone was injured, someone was out of form, and they were in the right place at the right time. And Harry Amas could be that guy, especially with being a very attack-minded fullback. Amorim might walk in and be like, I like that. Play him. And we'll find out. And then finally, Ruud van Nistelrooy send-off. I think he's done a decent job. I don't necessarily think it was a job that Ten Hag couldn't have done, like 3 wins and a draw in those 4 games. But Ruud did it. So credit to Ruud for doing it. It's a bit of a... I wouldn't say it's an easy job, but the expectations of you as an interim manager, you're coming in because someone's been sacked. So it wasn't good coming into that. But I think he looks like a manager. I think he's conducted himself like a manager. I think he said the right things. And I do hope he stuck around, because I think there's an aura to Ruud. And there's a standard setting that he sets by just being around the place. And some people will want to say, nah, just move on, totally fresh start. And I get that. But football's romantic. So let's have a little bit of romance in the game, because it's becoming a bit robotic and a little bit predictable and a little bit too athlete focused rather than talent focused. Let's have a little bit of romance. Keep Ruud, and let's imagine how good it'd be part of the team when we win something and it's with Ruud. Love it. Anyway, that's my thoughts. I'll do the player ratings in a second. I'll get right into all of the stats, because some very interesting stats from that game. So join us a little bit later on for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.